Let's talk about something most beginner investors get completely wrong. Where to actually put your stocks in ETFs. Should it go into a Roth IRA, a brokerage account? Does it even matter? Most people think you should just put it in a brokerage account on Robinhood and start buying ETFs. Or worse, they think a Roth IRA is only for people making big money with some fancy financial advisor holding their hand. But the brutal truth, where you put your investment matters just as much as what you invest in. The exact same ETF can either grow completely tax-free or get absolutely eaten alive by taxes, all depending on which account it's sitting in. In this video, I'm breaking down Roth IRAs versus brokerage accounts, including exactly how taxes hit different in each of them, when to use each one of them, and how to actually decide where your ETFs and stocks should go based on the specific job you're giving your money to do. When I first started investing, it was in a custodial brokerage account under my parents. I had absolutely no idea. I could have opened up a Roth IRA, and honestly, if I had known, I would have saved thousands in taxes over the years. And don't even get me started on the backdoor Roth IRA strategy. I didn't discover until after I already crossed the income limit and missed out on a few years of tax-free growth. Welcome freaking back, rich. Or if you're new here, hello, my name is Taylor Price, and this is Priceless Tay, your favorite financial literacy platform helping you thrive, not just survive. And when you hit subscribe, you join the rebellion where excuses die and your money thrives. So before we jump into it, hit that like button, and if you're all about passive income and financial freedom, it's gonna serve you more of that good. So make sure to hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much. This is the part that confuses everybody at the start. Let's start with who can even use a Roth IRA. It sounds fancy, but it's literally just an account with tax perks. According to the IRS, if you're single making about under $150,000 in 2025 per year, you can open one and contribute the full $7,000 limit in under 10 minutes. Now, it's important to note that this number changes because when I first started, it was definitely not 7,000. So make sure to always check every year how much that contribution limit is. If you're married filing jointly, that income limit jumps up to $236,000. But here's where it really gets interesting. Once you earn too much for direct contributions, that's where something called the backdoor Roth IRA comes in. And yes, it is 100% legal according to the current tax law. So here's the deal. The IRS allows high income earners to contribute to a traditional IRA first, then convert it to a Roth IRA. If I had done this backdoor strategy, I still could have gotten a sweet tax-free growth that the IRS provides on Roth accounts. So if you're confused or climbing income brackets, don't assume it's off limits. The phase out happens gradually too. For 2025, single filers start losing contributions abilities between $150,000 and $165,000, while joint filers see it happen between $236,000 and $246,000. Now, on the other hand, a brokerage account has zero restrictions according to current regulations. No income cap, no contribution limits. Anybody can open one and start buying ETFs immediately. So the question isn't just, can I open it? It's, what's the money for? Because this will determine where it should go to maximize your tax benefits. P.S. Always consult a tax professional for your specific situation, as tax laws can change and individual circumstances vary. This is where the same ETF can either make you rich or cost you way more than you think. Let's say you buy VOO, the S&P 500 ETF, in both accounts. In a Roth IRA, according to the IRS publication 590B, your investment grows completely tax-free. You never pay taxes on the gains, not even when you withdraw it in retirement, as long as you meet the qualified withdrawal rules. But in a brokerage account, per IRS rules, you pay taxes every year on dividends and you pay capital gains taxes again when you sell. The IRS treats these two as separate taxable events. Dividends get taxed annually whether you want them to or not, and gains get taxed on the moment you sell them. The numbers might not feel big now, but over 10, 20, 30 years, financial studies show that taxes on dividends and gains in a brokerage account can reduce your returns by thousands compared to a Roth IRA. We're talking about a significant drag on getting rich. And speaking of VOO, if you're wondering whether or not you should invest in VOO or VTI, I actually broke down everything beginners need to know in my previous video, VOO versus VTI, what no one tells beginner investors. Click the link above. It's essential viewing if you want to make the right ETF choice from the get-go. This is why Fidelity and other major firms recommend holding dividend-paying ETFs like VOO in tax-advantaged accounts like Roth IRAs. It's simply more tax efficient for long-term growth. If your ETF is long-term, it should live in a Roth IRA. That's where it performs best, like a star employee who gets to keep their full paycheck. The brokerage account is like giving your money a job, but the IRS takes a cut of the paycheck every single year. The Roth IRA, that's like putting your dollars on a no-tax salary for life. And if you care about this freedom later, this is the vehicle that protects your growth from the tax man. This is the real question no one's asking, and it changes everything. Not all money has the same mission. Some dollars are meant to help you take a break next summer. Others are meant to help you never have to clock in again. The biggest mistake I see people make, they treat all of their money the same way, throwing everything into whatever account they open first. So before you decide where to invest, I really want you to ask yourself, what's the actual job description of this money? I was a startup founder, and this is the way that I think about money now. I think about how can we grow it to make it and turn it into our best employees, especially if we act like the leader and CEO of it. Let me break this down with some real examples. So if your ETF is working toward buying a house in 5 years, that's a shorter term hire. You need access to that money, and you might need to sell during a market dip. That's when a brokerage account makes sense, even with a tax hit, because flexibility trumps tax savings when you have a deadline. But if that same ETF is meant to buy your freedom in 30 or 40 years, like quitting your job, designating your exit plan, or having just the option to walk away from anything you don't want to do, that's a completely different role. That's a long-term executive position. Give that money the Roth IRA office and let it work quietly, tax-free for decades. Speaking of designating your exit plan and transforming your financial life, if you want to know exactly where you are in your wealth building, getting rich journey, I've created a step-by-step flowchart showing exactly where you are in your rich transformation. Click the link in the description to see which stage you're at and what your next move should be. Here's how I think about this now. Think of your accounts like an org chart for your financial future. Roth IRA, the long-term game executive. This is your money's CEO role. It's working on the big vision, the 20, 30-year strategy. It doesn't get distracted by short-term market noise. It just grows, compounds, helps you get rich without the IRS taking a cut. The money has one job, to make you financially free. Brokerage accounts equal the flexible assistant. This is your money's project manager. It handles the medium-term goals, the house down payment, the car replacement, maybe even the I want to take a year off fund. It's more accessible, more flexible, but it does require you to pay some taxes along the way. That's the cost of flexibility. High yield savings accounts, I have to mention them, are the reliable intern. This money shows up every day. It's always available when you need it, but it's not moving any major needles here. Emergency fund, vacation money, anything you need in the next 1 to 2 years. Safe, boring, essential. Every dollar in your portfolio should have a clear role and a clear timeline. You don't babysit each one. You don't check them every day. You assign them their job, put them in the right account for that job, and let them work. Don't micromanage them. The problem most people have, they're trying to make one account do everything. It's like hiring someone to be your CEO, your assistant, and your intern all at once. It just doesn't work. Your money works better when it knows what it's supposed to be doing. So before you buy that next ETF, ask yourself, is this money applying for the executive role or the assistant role? Then put it where it can do its best work. Here's where people get nervous. But what if I need the money? Roth IRAs are for the long haul, but they're not as locked up as people think. You can actually pull out your contributions, not your gains, anytime, tax and penalty free. So if you put in $6,000, you can take that $6,000 back. No drama, okay? Let's say you're investing $300 a month. After a year, you've contributed $3,600. In a Roth, that $3,600 is always yours to access. But if the same ETF is in a brokerage account, you can take it all out, gains, profits, etc., but you'll get taxed on those profits. So ask yourself, do I need ultimate flexibility? If yes, the brokerage account wins. But if your money is a part of your freedom fund, the Roth gives you room to grow without Uncle Sam digging in your pockets. Flexibility comes with a price, and long-term growth loves the little constraints. And if you're still stuck, here's how I'd break it down like a CEO. Both a Roth IRA and a brokerage account are powerful tools. It isn't about which one is better, it's about which one is better for the specific job you have in mind. Here's my framework. If you're eligible for a Roth and this money is for long-term wealth building, start there. Max out that $7,000 annual contribution first. If you're not eligible, don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. Open a brokerage account and run it like the business owner you're becoming. Don't let decision paralysis keep your dollars sitting unemployed in a savings account earning less than 4% while inflation is eating your lunch. Think of it this way. Your Roth is for dollars you want to retire with, the money that buys you freedom 20, 30, 40 years from now. Your brokerage account is for dollars you want to live with, the money that funds your goals within the next 5 to 15 years. And when I finally started thinking about it this way, everything changed. I stopped trying to find the perfect account and started making strategic assignments. I didn't need to pick a side in some imaginary investing war. I needed to act like the CEO of my own financial future. Every dollar got a clear role. Every account had a specific purpose. And for the first time, I finally felt in control instead of overwhelmed by all of the options. Here's what most people get wrong. They think they need more money to get started. Wrong. You need more clarity. You need to stop researching and start deciding and then putting it into work. The fastest way to get clarity, decide what job you're hiring your money to do first, then pick the account that's best suited for the job. It's simple. Your money isn't confused about where to go, and it's not stressed. I'm curious. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And as always, I will see you in the next video.